All right, so we are broadcasting live
Perfect.
now. First time on StreamYard.
Hey.
So first time on StreamYard. Here we are, Composites Weekly at CAMX 2022. I'm with Megan Multanen. She has been on the show previously, and I better start recording on the audio here.
Oh, yes. Live is excellent, but we want people to come back to this.
That's right. That's right. So we're broadcasting live here. Megan's been on the show, as I've said before, but I wanted to invite her back on because they have a booth here at CAMX 2022. I wanted her to share a little bit about, for those that didn't get to listen to that episode, the background of women in the composites industry.
Yes.
Because you got a great story on that, how that all came about.
You know, we, like all good things, we started on the back of a napkin at happy hour.
I love it.
So there was a recognition by a number of us that there are women in the composites industry.
Yeah.
But we often feel really isolated. We're the only woman in our office, maybe. We're the only woman on that part of the engineering department.
And
We're the only woman.
You feel like sometimes you're excluded from the conversation.
That's right. It's very isolating. Right. So the recognition that you're not as isolated as it feels like you are.
No.
But let's bring everybody together and really understand how many women there are in the composites industry, first of all, but then what can we also do to bring more women to the composites industry? Right.
Absolutely. So tell me about what you all have, because you have a booth here. And we've got it listed, booth R35.
I'm glad I knew that. I could have said R, but you know.
I've even got it on the banner.
Hey, that. Well done. Yes, R35. We have a booth. We are doing a happy hour this afternoon.
Okay. Women only, right? I can't sneak over there. Okay.
You absolutely can. We are here to support women in the composites industry. Okay. I'm interview second. I'll get the young engineer in front of you, and then
okay. I don't mind that.
We welcome everybody to come by and see what we're doing, who we are, what we want to do.
Yeah, great. So that's at what time?
That is this afternoon at 4:30, I believe. I'm going to double check that while you ask me your next question, but I believe we are at 4:30 this afternoon.
Okay. Tell me about some of the, outside of CAMX, some of the things, because you mentioned on the previous, some of the other things you've been involved with, some of the other shows that you've been at.
So we really, we were at CAMX last year, and we started really during the height of the pandemic. Right. So everything we've done has primarily been online. Sure. But we were able to be at CAMX last year, and we're at CAMX this year. We were at Sampi. Okay. We've been at a handful of other shows. We have done panels where women have talked about their experience, just how they got into this industry, where they grew in their career. We've also done some subject things. We were at JEC and did a panel on sustainability. And so that was very cool to kind of understand globally how composites are contributing to this goal of sustainable products, net zero, and really being responsible with our footprint. Right. I do have to correct. It's time zone. I'm going to blame time zone. Our happy hour is from 3:30 to 5 today.
I think I remember that. Yeah. 3:30 to 5. Perfect timing.
Absolutely.
So let me ask you this. So what? I mean, I know I asked you this on the previous, but what's been the overall feedback from events like this that you get from what you're doing?
It's amazing. So just already today, we're the show floor has been open for a little over an hour. Right. Had a handful of people stop by. One was a gentleman who wanted to grab a pin for his 16-year-old daughter, who is interested in mathematics, and she doesn't really know yet what she wants to do, but her dad is in composites. It would be great if, she went into composites. Right. And just that willingness to talk about who we are, right? Had another young lady stop by who didn't know we existed, who was super excited because she had that isolation experience, right? Yeah. She's the only woman on her team. Right. And so just knowing that there's a place to connect. Yeah. And we would like to really grow our mentoring network. Yeah. So right now we want people who are interested in either being mentored or mentoring to come join us. So, we've had a great, already, just an hour into it, some really fun conversations. Yeah.
Well, and some people may not know, you're the co-CEO
I am.
Of Best Bath.
Yes. So we are a family-run business.
Yes.
And there are a lot of those in the composites industry.
There are.
But yes, my brother and I are co-CEO of Best Bath. We manufacture showers We, a while ago made the decision to focus on specified product that is the best and, maybe most expensive shower, composite shower you can buy, but we do that for a reason. We want to take care of our customers for their lifetime of need, whether that's the architect, the engineer, the homeowner. We really strive to be the solution to whatever issues they're having, be it construction or mobility issues. Absolutely. We've got the solution for that.
Okay. And how big is your team there?
We have 2 locations. We are in Sparta, Tennessee, which is near where you are. Our big manufacturing facility is in Caldwell, Idaho.
Yep.
So we always try to pick the small towns that are outside the big places.
Sure, right.
And we have about 235 people who work for us. The vast majority of those folks are on the manufacturing floor, touching the product, building and working with the composites. We have a sales team that has done amazing things and continues to build amazing relationships. Yeah. We are only as successful as we are because of the relationships we build.
Absolutely.
And that's why we're at CAMX. That's why we come here.
Right. Now, in terms of like females, I know probably within your own company, I'm sure you're taking that same philosophy of looking at the younger.
Yes.
Yeah. Recruiting.
Yeah.
Encouraging people to come to work for your organization.
We do. We want, really our goal is to be the employer of choice.
Yeah.
Like a lot of folks are struggling to just bring people in to come to work for them.
Right.
And we really started 10 years ago looking at ourselves and saying, okay, if somebody wants a job, why would they want to work for us?
Absolutely.
So we work hard to pay a living wage. We do a profit sharing program, our benefits, right? We examine all of that first and say, where are we with that? But we worked hard to build a network of women in our manufacturing facility. Yeah. We have a long way to go.
Sure.
But we've come. There was a time when there was like one woman, on the floor.
Exactly.
And we now have, probably about 20 in our Boise facility on each shift.
Yeah.
I would say we're pretty balanced in that way, and in a variety of departments. I think we talked about this last time. My brother and I are co-CEO, but our president, who reports to us, is a woman, Tammy Harris, and she's worked for us for 14 years.
Okay.
So we do work hard to also build that diversity at each level of the organization.
Sure. Now, outside of these events, which are so important, any other things that you all are doing just to kind of get awareness? I know you do a lot of virtual stuff.
We do. Like I said, we started during the pandemic. So Women in Composites has really been doing these. We're trying to hit that lunch hour for most people, right? So that you can come and learn.
Yeah.
We try to keep them to about 50 minutes. We'll talk about, the last one we did was with a woman who was in the sales department.
Okay.
She actually works for Best Bath, Rachel, in our sales department. So not only is she a woman in the composites industry, but she's selling into architectural and construction spaces, which is another predominantly, male-dominated industry. So she had some great perspectives just about how she has worked inside those spaces.
So what y'all try to get, different guests on a regular basis.
We do
these virtual.
Yeah, it's been pretty useful with that, whether subject matter experts talking about or people talking about the experience. Really, our goal here this year is to continue to collect people who are interested in helping us do what we do. Membership is free currently, and we want to build that mentoring network. So people who are interested in mentoring or people who are interested in being mentored. And so hopefully here, it's already October, so I'm not gonna say by the end of this year, but hopefully at the beginning of 2023 we can really start to implement that.
Sure.
Because we've all been in an experience where having a mentor made a difference.
Absolutely.
Whether that person knew they were mentoring us or not.
That's right.
It's helped us in some way.
Right. Absolutely. Just creating that environment it's incredible. Because like you said, people feel isolated at times. Whether it's, whether you're female, whether you're, any person that doesn't feel like they belong in an organization, and that's what you're trying to do is just make this more, or
learn where you can go, right? I mean, for so many of I don't have a degree in composites. There's so many people who go to school and love what they do and end up in a job that wasn't what they thought.
Oh, a lot of people.
But they love that job.
Yeah.
But now they have to figure out, well, what's my career growth for this job?
Sure.
What does that path look like? And
Sure.
so even just having those conversations
Yeah.
and saying, hey, this exists.
Right. Right. Yeah, it's funny because I used to feel, in your young days, when you're a young person, you come into some of these, and even as a young person, whether you're a female or a young person, you feel like, it's mostly older people or people that are
people that don't look like me, right?
Exactly,
I mean,
absolutely.
So few of us
Yes.
have had to experience that.
Right.
But if you are somebody who has experienced that, where you're walking into a space or being in a space daily, where nobody looks like you, nobody acts like you, nobody has the same experiences as you, it's more than just isolating. It's really intimidating, and it's hard to understand how you can break out of that.
That's right.
What are my options, and who do I talk to about that?
And sometimes people are afraid to ask questions.
Absolutely.
So they don't learn. It's
we talked about this morning at the keynote address here at CAMX, talking about innovation and how the huge difference between innovation that happens outside of organizations versus innovation that happens inside organizations.
Sure. Right.
Anytime we're inside a system, whatever it is, that's all we know, right? So we just kind of look around and talk to each other, and we can be really smart. Right. But if we don't have those outside influences, we don't have the opportunity to change and grow.
Absolutely.
And so, these are really big things, and Women in Composites isn't going to be able to tackle all of this.
Yeah, right.
But hopefully we're starting that conversation, and we're starting that wave of people who recognize, we need to bring new people into this industry.
Sure.
And there are a lot of smart new people out there.
Absolutely. Well, we were talking before we went live. You all have some great female leadership. I mean, it's incredible.
Yeah.
We were just talking about Marcy.
Yes.
Maybe mentioned that last night.
We
at
do,
the Works.
yes. So Marcy Offner has been an absolutely instrumental person in the Women in Composites thing that we have started here, but for the composites in general. Yeah. Right. So at the ACMA Awards last night, she was given the Chairman's Award, which is a surprise award, right? I'm sure somebody knew, but the vast majority of us did not know that she would be the recipient of that. Marcy Offner has worked for Comp One, I think, for the vast majority of her composites career, if not all of her composites career.
Right.
And she, along with Jane Thomas at Tejan Holdings and myself, started this organization. And both of those ladies have a wealth of experience that they can share, that is diverse experience, not just in the composites industry.
Right.
And that's the other thing that we really are conscious of is, like, how can, the three of us, I run a family business.
Sure.
I know what I know, and I know it well, but how do we make sure that we have people around us who can share their experiences too?
So how can people learn more? Where is the best place they can find out? And I've got compositewomen.com. Is that should I have had composites or
we're gonna check your website right now so you can correct it if need to. So it is Composite Women, so it does not have the S.
Okay,
so yes, compositewomen.com.
Okay.
You can on that website you can hit contact.
Okay.
And that is where you can enter your information and be on our mailing list.
Okay.
We are currently, like we talked about earlier, we would like people to join us. So there's no fee to join us at the time.
Okay.
If you give us your contact information, you're on our mailing list.
And you just get the updates.
That's right. We are not very spammy. I will promise that. But what we do is that way you can know about the webinars, the conferences we're going to be at. We're on LinkedIn. We're on Facebook as well. And so those are also two great ways to stay in contact with us. Yep. And of course, anyone can reach out to Marcy or to me or to Jane to find out more about what we're doing and where we're going to be. If you're here at CAMX, it's booth R35, that happy hour tonight from 3:30 to 5, We have pins.
Sneak in. I will sneak in.
Yes.
I'll untail it. Right?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
All right. Well, Megan, thanks so much for stopping by.
Thanks for having me.
Always great to catch up.
Yeah.
And enjoy the show.
Thanks. You too.
Absolutely. All right. That's cool.
That works really well.
Worked out well. I didn't see any.
So where are you streaming? This is on your website that you're streaming this.
Well, it's going to the website. It's going to